think many people walk into an exercise without adequate planning for that exercise. Not that they have to make it so it's going to be successful and put all of the resources in place, but what I mean is something very basic, which is setting exercise objectives, success criteria, making sure that the process and the content that has been or that will be used helps and aligns to meeting those objectives, properly evaluating strategies and plans. But at the end of the day, we have to realize an exercise is more about building competencies through training and awareness. It's a training and awareness technique. It's helping to further continuous improvement. It's not about pass and fail. And one of the big outcomes is making mistakes, learning from it, so you're not making those mistakes during an actual disruption.
So this is something that I think has been very helpful here at the conference. I think there have been 2 or 3 sessions that have been extremely helpful in making exercises more practical, more executable, more real, getting better engagement. It's been great. One of the things that I always emphasize is just even the use of the word exercise as opposed to test. We're not trying to pass or fail people. We want to get stronger. And so I'll use that physical exercise example over and over. You know, if I'm trying to improve my cardiovascular strength, I'm not going to go lift weights. If I'm going to try to improve my upper body strength, I'm not going to go jogging. So what are we trying to accomplish? What are our exercise objectives? That should be linked to something we're trying to accomplish, and then we need to structure exercises to meet that specific goal. If we did that and nothing more, we would improve our ability to hit our exercise objectives and recovery objectives astronomically. That one change alone would be a big help. I think the other thing we need to do is try to be as pragmatic as we can in those exercise objectives. We did an exercise objective, or exercise for our main site last November with a lot of first-time participants. I think we had 240 or 250 of our 750 people participate in the exercise. Our first exercise objective is find the off-site location, right? Seems kind of basic, Mike. It's very basic. Here's one thing I've learned. If people don't make it to the off-site location, they will not recover at the off-site location. And so we a lot of times need to walk before we can run. If you can have concrete, very tangible, very pragmatic exercise objectives, not only does it help you to know that you've succeeded or not in your exercise, but they're things that you can build on. And now you can make the case for why our exercises ought to become progressively more challenging over time, because we've demonstrated a mastery of the basics. Now it's time to get to the intermediate level stuff. Now it's time to get to the advanced stuff.
Well, really, the most important thing about an exercise is that everybody has to understand that exercises never fail. There is no such thing as a failed exercise. Really, the whole purpose of an exercise is to determine whether or not your company is going to be able to recover in the event of an actual incident, whatever that incident might be. And by saying that, well, this is a pass-fail, or finding somebody to blame, or finding somebody who can be fired if the exercise goes wrong, is the absolute wrong way to go about it. Secondarily, there are 2 schools of thoughts on doing exercises. One of them is that you only have scheduled exercises, that an exercise is only done when everybody's been prepped and everybody knows about it for a week. But in real life, it's very rare that an incident is going to be planned. Incidents happen anytime, any place, and not all of your personnel might be available. They either might be on vacation, they might need to take care of their families, or God forbid, something could have happened during the actual incident that might have taken somebody out of play, and somebody who could be considered to be a key player. So really, incidents where or exercises where you do the exercise and you point to 5 people and say, you guys, you go back to work because you're not part of this exercise, or exercises during a holiday period or vacation time or something like that, are usually going to be much more successful in showing you what holes you may have in your planning process. Certainly exercises can be as live as you want them to be, or they can be tabletop. But really, no matter what, you have to make sure that people don't cheat on an exercise. And an example of that, I was doing one exercise where we were supposed to bring some tapes back off-site. Now, this was quite a while ago, but some tapes were supposed to come back from off-site. I called our vendor and told our vendor they're going to expect a call, don't actually send the tapes, but do expect the call. And when the call happens, just log what time it came in, what the request was, and so on. So the next day I called to thank them for participating in our exercise and to get the information that they logged. And they said they never received a call in the first place, which was really odd because when I went down, after the exercise, I went down the checklist, calling the tape company to have the tapes come back on site was checked. And I couldn't understand where the disconnect was. So I talked to the young lady that was supposed to have called to have the tapes come back, and she told me, well, I forgot the phone number. The phone number, was in my desk, and I really didn't have it with me, and I forgot, but I didn't want the exercise to go bad, so, and I didn't want to be marked off, for points or whatever, so I checked the box that I called, even though I really couldn't call. And that's where we started having those discussions of there was no such thing as a failed exercise. We're not finding anybody to blame. And if that had been a real incident, and we had been at the backup site and nobody had the phone number to bring our tapes back, that could have been a bigger disaster than the incident that happened in the first place.